Okay, so this is Unit 4, and this is our discussion of love, marriage, sex, and duty to kin. In this section, we're obviously going to deal with a lot of readings and thought exercises related to the idea of what we owe to those in our family and those with whom we are intimate. So let us think for a moment about this concept that we have that somehow we owe our parents something, or we owe something to our siblings more than just an average stranger on the street. But why is that the case? What exactly makes that the case? So, in the course of the readings you're going to be looking at stories that involve these questions of intimate partners and family and why we owe them a greater duty. You're going to watch a TED Talk, listen to a TED Talk about how we come to love, and a crash course video on family obligations. Then you have several assignments that are due in this unit. Your Sunnum Bonum proposal is due by the 15th. You have to submit a proposal before I can okay it so that you can begin work. So you're going to want to make sure that you get that in before the 15th, because you're going to want to have time to do the project. If it's not proposed by the 15th, then you cannot submit it. There's a quiz on this unit. I would suggest you do the quiz before you write the film study. So be aware of the need to sort of read over that material and master it before you dive into the film study. You have two discussions. You have a first discussion that just deals with your thoughts on duty and family as it relates to several of our readings. Some of those readings we did earlier in the term. So the Antigone reading, and one called The Model, the Suitable Boy, Measure for Measure, and then your own personal experience about obligations that we have toward family. And then finally, you have the film study. This is the famous play called The Raisin in the Sun. This is a family that's struggling to find itself. The individual members are trying to find who they are as people and also within that family structure. So I really like this play. And then in your essay and then your reply, you're going to integrate all this reading, the 5 C's we've discussed. So this is a chance to think of it like a snowball rolling down the hill. You've gathered up all these readings and all these theories, and you're going to want to make sure you roll all that into your essay so that you can do a really good job. And then that will bring us around to the final unit. So this is Unit 4, kind of a brief summary overview. Those of you that are really looking to nail this one, you're going to really want to make sure that you integrate the readings into the discussions and the TED Talk and the crash course video. So at any rate, that's it. So what do you owe your family, and why should we have a higher moral obligation to those that we're related to? Is blood really thicker than water? Isn't a kind, compassionate stranger or friend a greater ethical obligation to you than a sibling that you've been estranged from, or a parent that's never had anything to do with you? Think about all these 23andMe kinds of discoveries where people are finding out they have kin that they didn't even know. And do I have an obligation to them if I find out that somebody contributed to my DNA, but they've never had anything to do with my life? Do I actually owe them anything? So there's where we're going to be. Look forward to hearing your thoughts on this important issue.